What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen with Worm. Today I'm going to actually take you back to my roots, what I grew up on, the reason I got this nice boyish figure. Today I'm going to make some buttermilk drop biscuits and some homemade sausage gravy for you guys. Now, these drop biscuits, a lot of people will use like all-purpose flour and they'll add their leavening agents in it. I don't do that. I just get self-rising flour because it has all the leveling agents and all that stuff in it. Like I say, there's no set amount recipe on this. I'm just eyeballing it because, like I said, it's just me and the wife eating, so we don't need to make a whole lot of it. Of course, I've got my trusty iron skillet that I have sprayed some Pam in, some non-stick spray from Pam. And once I get this bag open here, without ripping it everywhere, just take some self-rising flour. Don't have to put a lot in it because, like I say, we're not going to make a bunch. That'll probably be just about enough. Probably about 2 cups, I would imagine. This is a very, 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 very messy process, by the way. The wife hates when I do it because I get flour everywhere. I literally get it everywhere. So you take some self-rising flour. And you take some extremely cold butter. This is, I can't believe it's not butter made with coconut oil, so it's a little better for you. So you just take some butter, some extremely cold butter. I don't know, a big chunk like that right there. And once you get it in here, you need to try to separate it the best you can. Because I'll tell you what we're going to do, when we separate it, these buttermilk drop biscuits are going to have little chunks of butter in each one of them. And it really brings out the flavor of the biscuit. Get that incorporated, get it all mixed up, and you'll see why I call them drop biscuits in a minute, because a lot of people, this is some buttermilk, can't have buttermilk drop biscuits without buttermilk, but I will tell you why we call them drop biscuits. You know, a lot of people will get out a rolling pin and they'll put flour on the table or whatnot, and they'll get their rolling pin and they'll start rolling the biscuits out. That's too time consuming. We don't do all that. There's no need of it. Let's eyeball this. Put a little milk in here at one time. Don't put too much in it. Go crazy with it. Get this started mixing up. Now this is where the part gets messy because you gotta go in with your hands. More milk, get it a little bit wetter. Apparently I keep setting the milk in front of the camera.
Just a little.
There's a mysterious hand that keeps moving it. And so this is a very, 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 very messy process. As you guys can tell, I'm slinging dough left and right. But hey, if you ain't having no fun, what's the use of doing it? Am I right? Alright, try to get some of this off my hands if possible. Alright. That looks like about enough dough for me and the wife. Couple, maybe a biscuit or 2 left over for the mother-in-law. There's what you end up with. You end up with a semi-form shape ball of dough. But anyway, we call them drop biscuits because we end up just pinching just a little bit of the dough off, and we'll drop them in the pan. We don't roll them out or anything. Like I say, it's too time consuming and there's no need for it. You just get them and drop them in here, and that's all you do. And you put them in a 375 degree oven till they're golden brown, usually about 20 to 24 minutes, I would think, just depending on your oven. But yeah, these are not going to be real big biscuits because, like I say, we're going to end up taking breaking them up and putting the homemade sausage gravy on top of them. Like I say, this will be plenty enough for me and the wife. So we've got about 2, 4, 6, about 7 biscuits in there, and I'll take and smush them down a little bit with the fork here in just a second, try to give them a little bit more of a uniform shape. But stick around, guys. In about 20 to 22 minutes, these will be done. And we'll be back in just a minute, and I'll get the sausage on and show you how to make roux and then make the sausage gravy. Stick around. I'll be. Hey guys, we're back. Now we're going to start getting our breakfast sausage on. We got some Jimmy Dean. This is actually reduced fat. This is actually not ideal for making gravy because if you don't have the fat, aka the grease, you can't make the roux. So you got to have the grease to make the roux. So this being a reduced fat sausage, it's not going to produce a whole lot of fat, which is good if you're watching your fat intake. But when it comes to making a roux, it's not very good. So I actually had to add a little bit of extra oil into this pan because, like I say, without the fat, you can't make the roux. Like I say, I've got to get this broke up, get this good and browned, and we'll be back after this gets to going. And stick around. This is coming together. It's a slow process, but I'll show you guys how to actually make the gravy step by step after we get the sausage broke up and we get it ground. So we'll be back in just a flash. Alright guys, the sausage is good and brown. It has rendered all the fat out of it. It is ready to go on to step 2 of making the roux, which in turn leads into sausage gravy. What you do here, I've got some all-purpose flour. I've got a helping hand spoon here, excuse me, a spoonful of flour here. What you want to do is you want to mix this flour up. Make sure that you cook the flour taste out of it. Now this roux, aka this liquid you see here, it will turn like an almost caramel brown color the longer that you let this sit and mix up. The longer it sits, the darker the gravy will be. But like I say, you gotta let it cook for a little bit because you gotta get the flour taste out of it. And once you get ready to go to step 3 to actually make the gravy, it'll look real clumpy, real chunky like this. And that's perfectly normal. That's what you actually want. Like I say, and guys, this is not a breakfast that you can have every day. I wouldn't even recommend this once a week, maybe once a month, because this is the unhealthiest, worst breakfast that you can get. And I tell you this because this is the body you get. Well, 200 pounds ago, this will be the body you get. You'll be like me, you'll end up being like over 500 pounds. Like I say, I would used to eat this like literally every other day, if not every weekend. And not only this, we would have fried taters, we would have fried eggs, and they would have like apple turnovers. We would always have a big breakfast on the weekend. So yeah, this is definitely not a thing that you can eat every day. I wouldn't recommend eating this once a week because it's not good for your arteries. But you know, country folk know how to cook the unhealthiest food, but it is so delicious. And actually, that looks like it's a little wet still, so I'm going to actually add a little more flour to it. But yeah, you just keep working this. So like I say, you got to get the flour taste out of it because there's nothing worse than the taste of flour. Just keep working this. Now we'll come in with our salt and our pepper. Like I say, don't go too crazy with the salt because you can always salt it after the gravy is coming together. The biscuits Ooh, the biscuits have risen up. They're still a little white. They gotta get a little brown still. All right, let me turn this eye up just a little bit. But yeah, this is a lengthy process, guys. Good sausage gravy just don't happen. So we'll take and just keep stirring this around. Let this get incorporated. Let the flour taste get cooked out of it, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes when we're ready to go, ready to add the cream or the milk, whichever one you want to add, and we'll show you the finished product of what the sausage gravy looks like, and hopefully by that time the biscuits will be done. So stay tuned. Alright guys, after about 5 minutes of stirring, you guys see we have that like caramel color. The flour is officially cooked out. Now I've got some 2% milk, and this is the process where you can't mess up, because you got to eyeball this and you've got to constantly keep stirring. You got to constantly keep stirring, because this will get thick real fast. You'll make a mess. See how it's getting thick already? You just got to keep stirring it, keep stirring it, keep stirring it.
Woo!
And this whisk is crap. I don't know why I'm using it. I can't use the wire one because this is that Tefal stuff. Pause that, honey, and go get me some more milk. I'm gonna. Alright guys, sorry about that. I didn't have enough milk out the way I anticipated, so I had to have her pause it and get some more milk. But here you go. The gravy has come together. You can see it's thinned down some to where it was, because it was getting mighty thick. We can actually take this off of the burner now, because after this sits a little bit it will get thicker. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more pepper to it. And I'm going to wait on the salt till we get ready to taste it. And the biscuits, let's see what the biscuits look like. Oh yeah. There's your buttermilk drop biscuits. No rolling, no nothing. This is some drop biscuits in the oven for like 24 minutes on 375. And that's the finished product. Let me get this stuff plated up, guys. We'll say a quick prayer and we'll try some of this southern sausage gravy and biscuits. Stick around. Alright guys, it's breakfast time. Here we got the sausage gravy. Looks so delicious. And then we got the buttermilk drop biscuits. These are some of the best biscuits that you can actually make, and they're not time consuming at all. There's no need to get a rolling pin out. There's no need to throw a bunch of flour all over your table and throw the dough out and sit here and going back and forth. You don't have to do that. These are the simplest, best buttermilk biscuits you can actually make and eat. As you guys can see, we have 7 buttermilk biscuits in this cast iron pan. They rose up, they fluffed up, they browned up. Look at that. You can't get a better biscuit than that, guys. We'll take a biscuit there. We'll take a spoonful of gravy. We'll just throw it on top, maybe a spoonful and a half. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. That looks pretty good. Do like most of those chefs on TV, they wipe the plate for presentation. Goofies. But there we go, guys. There's sausage gravy and buttermilk biscuits. I'm going to say a quick prayer and I'm going to try this. I'm for sure I'll probably have to add a little bit of salt. Most of the time you normally have to. So we'll be right back. Lord, Father in heaven, thank you, Lord, for this food that I'm about to receive, Lord. For I receive it in your name, Jesus. I pray and ask it be a nourishment and a blessing, Father, to my mind, my body, and soul. For it's through Christ Jesus, I pray and ask all these things. Amen. Amen. There we go. There we go. As you guys can probably tell, this is still piping hot. There's still steam coming off of it. I'm probably going to burn my little tootsies off here. But I don't know if you guys can see the flakiness of the biscuit. That's all it is. It's very simple, guys. Very, very simple. Get a little bit of this sausage gravy on it. Get a big bite here. Oh, wow. I don't have to add no salt. That's amazing. And that pork sausage, the buttermilk of the biscuit. Like I say, guys, this is not a breakfast that you could eat every day. But most southern folks, they indulge on stuff like this. And I can't deny it. I was one of them. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate y'all coming through on this episode of Worms in the Kitchen with, I was going to say Worms Big Bite. Wait a minute. Much love. God bless. Go out and cook something. See you later.